that's a wrap on the quarterfinal round. We're looking ahead to semifinals. Started at the top of the show, giving my girl Cupo an opportunity to glow a little bit because she deserves. My girl deserves. The only one left standing as far as attacking third analyst, and the brackets that they selected. It's all in.
I
Gotham
hadn't
going for
realized until I saw it after the fact that I was legitimately the only one
Yep.
that said Gotham would pull the upset, which is actually comical because I looked at everyone's brackets and was like, "Ooh, we got a little. This is a little spicy," which is funny because Darian said to me like, "Oh, your brackets are a little spicy," and I was like, "I don't know, man. I think some of yours are a little bit spicier than mine." Like Beatty had the wave going a lot further, and I was like, "Ah, man,
Yeah.
I see the vision."
I think so did
But
Darian. So did Darian. Yeah.
they're real young, and NWSL playoffs, that's a horse of a different color. Like
Yeah.
that's and I say like oftentimes, especially when we hit this impasse, it's the grind teams. And like grind teams to me are like Orlando and Gotham that end up like powering through despite being the eighth seed. Like I never count them out. And also like Coach Juan Carlos Amaros, we've seen him do it time and time again, that he gets a little something extra out of these players, and everything suddenly runs so cleanly. The passing, the chemistry, like Sonnet locked in and just like commanding. It's actually it's a work of art, quite frankly.
Look at you. Go off. Gloat it up. Like I'm here for it. Sarah, like we didn't get to have you on those very early like previewing episode. But as we're looking at the final four that are left in this bracket showdown, you've got Gotham and Orlando on the left, and you've got Spirit and Portland over on the right. Are these final four, is there anyone you've got your eye on in particular to just go ahead and make that run all the way to the final, maybe lift it?
I mean, to be honest, I watched I watched all the quarterfinals, but Gotham really impressed me compared to their last game of the regular season against the Courage, which wasn't it was a no from me, big dog. But it's like all of a sudden you got like this flip of mentality coming into playoffs, which is like normal, right? When you're coming into the NWSL playoffs, that mindset shifts drastically. And I felt like for Gotham, they did so well against Kansas City. Now I know, KC were missing some key players, Temwa and Michelle Cooper. So obviously, like, but and then you have some, some people playing through injuries as well. So I know KC wasn't at their strongest, but again, kind of like what we were just talking about with Bayern, kind of like hitting Arsenal where it hurts.
Yeah.
I think Gotham did the same, did just that with Kansas City, and I was really impressed just how they were moving the ball. Obviously, I think Emily Sonnet, I mean, they were praising her quite a bit, with the commentary, but also I'm just watching her and her experience as obviously having experience in the playoffs, winning NWSL titles. That was obviously very much put on blast, in that game. So I like the look of Gotham a lot. But then also I look at Orlando. I'm like, Marta just did like she's like, what, 38, doing a whole 100-yard run and that penalty. So I'm like, Orlando's also looking really good as well.
Two flanked by two defenders. I'm like, what are we doing, dude?
Like, she's not real. So, but yeah, I think for me, Gotham, they looked really, really good. So I might say them.
I think, listen, that's fair. I wanted you to get a chance to get your piece in on this too, because you ride with us during some of these high moments, and I'm like, you know what, let's see what you're thinking, and I don't blame you. Like if this is the final four, I think maybe going into the quarterfinals with the bigger picture, you're like, like who's it gonna be? But when you narrow it down, it's really about the team that's peaking, and it's hard not to take a look at Gotham and what they're doing, and to that extent, Orlando, like looking exactly like who they were a little bit last year, even without Barbara Banda. Like incredible energy from Marta. I mean, it's almost like they know the script because they're the ones who wrote it. Like Kaylee McCutcheon getting on the end of a big one, like he provided as well for them in the early rounds of the playoffs. So that's a huge matchup for me. Let's take a look at Christine Cupo's bracket, because I need the folks to keep gassing my girl up here. Look at this. Had all the picks correct in the quarterfinals with the score like there. Gotham taking over Current 2-1. Pride taking over Seattle 2-0. Portland taking over San Diego 1-0. Spirit taking out Racing Louisville on pens. And now it's the final four. Gotham versus Orlando. Portland versus the Spirit. And in the championship, though, Cupo, you've got Orlando versus Spirit.
We are revisiting.
How good are you still feeling about your bracket now that we're going into a new round?
So I still feel great about it. What I will add is that I had been hedging when I did the brackets ahead of all of this between whether or not Gotham would actually beat Orlando and make their way to the final. That's something that if I do a gut check right now, I'm still a little bit weary of, but I went Orlando only because I feel like they've been more in form at this point, and they've tasted it so like last year, and they want this again. Like you can't bottle that feeling, but you can certainly try to revisit it. So right now I have a rematch essentially of Washington Spirit and Orlando in the final. However, I have Washington Spirit pulling this off and winning the whole shebang. So right now, like, I still feel good. I just think that if we revisit this, that if it comes to be that we say, hey, Poop, like Gotham managed to do this, I would be super surprised.
I'm curious how things will shake out. Because I think you look at that left side of the bracket now and you're just kind of like, it might be one of these two technically lower seeded teams, even though at this point no one's playing like, you know, an 8 or no one's playing like a 4, like whatever, like that's out the window. And you take a look at maybe the other side of things, and I would argue that maybe like Portland is kind of playing a little bit like with some of that energy and the chip on the shoulder a little bit. I asked our producers if they have my little loser bracket because no one's gonna clown me.
Did you guys bookmark that one?
No one's gonna, you guys didn't bring that one up. No one's gonna clown me harder than I clown myself. I promise. Let me tell you something. You do not want to see the left side of that bracket. Okay, everything is busted on the left. Like that's 100%. Like but I love that because again, I'm like this is what playoffs are 100% like all about. It's why it's like I'm like this is the most wonderful time of day. Look at that delicious, terrible bracket. There you go. To the left. Everything is busted on my bracket to the left. For the exception, okay, if you move to the right though, Portland and Spirit. And I guess I got to ride all the way with Portland at this point. They're the ones I got remaining. But I don't know if to talk about that's the other side of the bracket. I don't know if it's going to be enough. They got whoever's getting to the final. They either got to go through Orlando on the road or they got to go through Rowdy Outy and the Spirit at home as well. So it's gonna be
as a Gooner and also someone who has been Rob Gale defender. I am absolutely tickled for him to have made it into playoffs to this point. If he makes it to the final, I will not be mad at all because he literally gets to puff his chest out and be like, this is what I've been trying to do all along. For a while there, I know like last season talking with him on coaches calls, it was like, Rob, buddy, I see it. I hear it. You're telling me we're just not seeing what you're talking about actually develop on field. And then this season it clicked. Yeah. It all started to click. So
I mean, that's the momentum. That's the energy. We got to see if they're gonna, carry with them all the way to DC, and if they're gonna be ride or die. I don't know, Cooper. I'm feeling as good about your bracket as as you are about your own. So we'll see. I know playoffs are going to continue this weekend. We'll have a much fuller NWSL preview for everyone on Thursday show. So make sure you tap in.